late. I am terribly late today. The time is 11:40. I'm 10 minutes late. I'm sorry. I apologize. We had a home visit from a potential cleaning company. I mean, they are going to be our cleaning company. So we were just doing a walkthrough at the house. Me and my wife are just so busy. We just don't have time or the energy to do the standard cleaning. So yeah, I felt that was important to keep me happy with my life. So I guess you guys had to suffer and we were late. Anyway, my name is Ian Hopfe, and this is Ian the HR Pro live podcast where I'm dangerously unscripted. But like I've mentioned before, I'm just lazy, man. I don't want to create a script, and I always hope that I'm going to get questions in the comments. Yes, ask your questions in the comments. I forgot to mention that yesterday. Yesterday was the Indigenous Allyship Day. Today is what is today? It's Wednesday. Side gigs, side hustles, aka small business marketing stuff. Because I do marketing for my small business, I like to talk about that sort of stuff, things I'm learning. You kind of follow on the journey with me, this journey of what I call the 333 challenge. Maybe we'll bring that up. Maybe that's what we'll talk about today. I don't know. If you need to get a hold of me, of course, I'm an HR consultant. You need to get a hold of me for anything. You follow my links here. All my links, QR code. It's also down here at the bottom of the screen. linktr.ee/IanTheHRPro. And that takes you to all my links. You can set up a meeting with me one-on-one, or I think the most important thing that a small business owner can get from me is my $7 ebook, which is called Stop Staff Drama in 5 Days. And it gives you that initial tips for a small business that you need to create a better work environment for your people. So certainly get that. It's in all my links. Earl Grey tea, not that hot, because I was in a rush. I didn't let the water heat up properly. It's kind of lukewarm Earl Grey tea. Yay. So, sorry. Something in my throat. As always, let me cough again. Oh, that's a little better. Sometimes you just have to clear your throat. So, have we got sound? Is sound playing? Oh my God, that's a terrible sound. So that was the ambient music. Let's go with the chill music today. Let's see if that makes a difference. Chill music, anytime chill. I think it's still on the ambient. There's the chill. I don't know if that's chill or not, but it's certainly better than the weird ambient music. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Put it in the comments if you think my background music is too loud. Because we could go with down tempo, chill hop, hip hop, lo-fi. What the heck is lo-fi? Lounge, R&B, minimal house, future pop, love, classical, epic, cinematic, world music, corporate. I'm not sure what corporate is. Indie rock, acoustic, jazz, ambient, which we were just on, and it was kind of terrible. It was just like this low. It's like, you know, when you're in that scary place and all you hear is just this faint background music. That's what ambient was doing to us just now. atmosphere, I put that on a lot. I don't mind it too much. There's nature sounds. Nature sounds does not seem fitting for my show. And then there's rain. We could do just rain. Rain background. Anyway, lots of background. I could also upload my own music, but I don't want to run into copyright issues, right? So hit me up in the chat if you want to ask me a question about side gigs, side hustles, small business marketing, things you're doing to supplement your job, or the things you do to build your small business. That's what we want to talk about today. And I'm going to get into my 333 challenge once again and kind of let you know. I think once a month, usually the first episode, or the Wednesday episode, I will talk about my stats from YouTube and the effects of what my marketing efforts, my content creating efforts are doing and how they're doing. So we're over halfway through November. I already talked about my October numbers. Basically, I went from a couple hundred views on my videos on YouTube to 40,000 views the first month I started doing this, and it seems like it's leveled off at around 30,000 views for the 2 months after that. But I have just now kicked in doing more. How do you say? I streamlined my process. So let's share my 333 document. Just got to open up Microsoft Word here. Give me a moment. Un moment, s'il vous plaît, mon collègue va vous aider. Yes, that's all the French I know. I needed to know that when I worked for the federal government. Where is it? I'll have to search for it. It's locked up somewhere in the file system. Here we go. Got it open. I'll share it now. We can follow along together. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself to do it. So some days it's not perfect. So I'm not gonna beat myself up on the days I'm not perfect. Like this past Sunday, we got busy and I forgot to post any content. And normally Saturday, Sunday, I will at least post 3 shorts, aka reels, and I'll send those out to all my social medias. And as always, right now I'm going live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X. So that's where I go live all the time. And where I upload my shorts / reels, the clips, they are in the vertical format, so like your phone format. So there's certain places I can send them and they work better and they don't work better. Twitch doesn't allow you to upload these additional videos like that. It's just all about going live on Twitch, right? So you can see my shorts on LinkedIn. I said my short videos on LinkedIn, YouTube, what they're called. Yeah, they're called shorts on YouTube. Facebook, that's my Facebook business page. Twitter and TikTok, right? So it's a different 5 places. So if you watch this sort of stuff on those, there should be a link that'll get you the information about the show and get you information of where else you can see my content through all my links, which is my link tree. That's where you can find all that. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's have a look. How's that look? I don't like being small like that. Yes, make me bigger. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm calling it the 333 challenge. It's at least 3 pieces of content each day for 30 days for 3 months straight. Now, because I took some time to perfect my process by purchasing Restream and Restream.io, this is the program I'm using to stream on all these social medias all at once. I chose Restream.io because LinkedIn said that's the best way to connect to them for the live. And because I have more connections on LinkedIn, I wanted to make sure that I could post to LinkedIn easier. It's just kind of a bonus that all the other services, social media websites, that it's just a bonus that I can also stream to all them at the same time. So that's great. So I think you have a choice when you are going to build your business or your side hustle and your side gig using online marketing. You have a choice. And because there's two rules of thought on this. One is more traditional, where you say, let's concentrate on one social media and just put as much content as we can on that social media. And with that, you build that one social media and you get to a point where you're actually making money. And then you can say, I can afford to hire someone to help me, or I can afford, or now I have the ability to do more than one social media. So you kind of build. So you start off with, say, TikTok, and then you're like, okay, we're also going to post to Twitter X, or you start with YouTube and you say, okay, then I'm also going to start posting on Facebook, wherever. With this tactic, you think about where your potential clients are located. Where do they hang out? And that might take you a little bit of research. So that's the first rule of thought, is that you pick one social media and you go hard on it. And by hard, I mean like you're not just doing the minimum of 3, you're doing like 10 posts a day, right? Like you are going hard because you need to build that one social media up as fast as possible. So you need to create just a ton of content. And when you think about content creation and getting traffic to a website, to your business, to your whatever you're marketing, most social media sites, the life of your content is very short. 5 minutes to a few hours. Like that's kind of it. The one that's really different is the YouTube, because YouTube is a search engine. And if you are able to make the evergreen content that is always posted on your YouTube channel, people will always be able to access it down the road. So I would almost advise that if you're going to concentrate on one social media to build right now, do the YouTube, right? Paste all your shorts on there, create long form content that's going to turn into evergreen content, right? Do your lives all through YouTube. I would say the number one thing is YouTube. Build that up and then expand. Now, that's the one rule of thought. The other rule of thought, like that first one, you're going to hear that from a lot of different online gurus and online marketers because they found the success. It is a little more simple, not simple, easier to do, especially if you're a one-person show and you've only got so much time, right? And you have no money. If you have no money, then yeah, concentrate on the one free social that you enjoy the most, basically. The other school of thought is that you need to post on every social media that you can think of every day, all day. And this is a bigger endeavor. And I'm only doing this because I've paid for the Restream.io app. And I paid the initial, then I upgraded, and then I expanded how many. So I've upgraded like twice on this service because I think it's really great. Because it's doing the heavy lifting for me, right? It's allowing me to go live everywhere. It's allowing me to post my shorts everywhere. And most importantly, it's creating the shorts for me, the reels, the viral clips, they used to call it. I think they changed it now to just clips. So I go live, I talk about all kinds of cool stuff or boring stuff, and then Restream.io chooses 60-second or less clips from each of my lives, and I start posting those. They usually generates about 5 of them for me per live stream, and that is enough. So if I'm doing a live stream each day and I post 2 shorts, I'm getting the 3 I need. And these are 3 pieces of video content that I am putting on 5.5 social media sites. I say half because I'm not putting the shorts, the clips onto Twitch. It's just the live stream. So, and that's advice from Gary Vaynerchuk. He is a marketer. He started off selling wine for his dad and building his dad's business. And because he did all that marketing stuff, he started a marketing firm. And he's realized over these years that you got to just create content. You got to go crazy making content. If you think it's too much, it's probably not enough. And you need to hit as many social medias as you possibly can. All 7 of the major ones. I don't know which 7 he talks about. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, Instagram, maybe Pinterest, maybe Twitch. Oh, TikTok for sure. Right? So it's just depending on where your business is that you kind of want to start, and the content you create on one, hopefully you can put on everything else. So with YouTube is interesting because yes, you can make your long form content, which become evergreen. You can go live, which stay on the site, which become evergreen content also. You can post all your short videos, and you can also do community posts. So it's almost like a mini, I don't know, like a I don't know, poor man's Twitter or something, right? Like, but so depending on what you're doing, you can generate a lot of business. So I want to say let's think you're creating designs for t-shirts and you've got an account like on TeePublic. I have a TeePublic account. I have created HR designs. I just purchased a couple. One that says I am HR, and there's a spaceman on one that says in space HR can't hear you scream. Right, so I create these silly t-shirts, and they're in all my links. You can go check them out. But say I'm just creating t-shirts. That's all I want to do. Now, TeePublic is great because they don't just have t-shirts. They have all kinds of other products: mugs, stickers, magnets, bags, tapestries. They have little fanny packs now. They have jogging shorts. They have caps, ball caps. Right, so they're expanding their product line that they can put your design on. So you're basically just creating designs, and you're directing all your traffic to your TeePublic website. Okay, if you're an artist and every time you create a new design, what you do is you film yourself while doing that design, whether it's painting or digital art or something. You film the process, and maybe you go live while you're doing it. Right, you've got all these different options, and you're thinking just YouTube, right? So you're going to create a short video, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes, and that's your evergreen. This is how I made this thing, right? You're going to go live, you're going to interact with people, and maybe you're going to talk about your techniques or whatever on your live. You're going to create some shorts and just kind of showing off some of your designs or whatever. You want to throw some random stuff in there too. Maybe it's just things you like as an artist, whatever. And then each time you create a new design, you also post it as a community post, and people get to see your design. Now, if I was doing this, I would definitely put a watermark on it, try to make it hard for people to steal it. But all those posts in the description or in the comments is just a link to that design on your TeePublic website. And your main link on your YouTube page is pointed straight to your main TeePublic store so they can see all your designs, right? So now you're creating like 4 links to your one new product that you're talking about. And you're just doing that on YouTube, right? And following the 333 challenge, 1, 2, 3, you go live, you do a video, you do some shorts, you make a community post, which is like a mini blog post or whatever. I mean, that's a lot of content, and that's all over YouTube, and YouTube is a search engine. So if someone's like, I'm looking for skull and crossbone designs, right? They're going to come up with your community post where you just did this wicked new skull and crossbones. Wow, that was early. This was, I don't even know how long this was. 20 minutes into my stream, and we already got spammed on Twitch. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Whoa, spammer. Thank you, Spambot, for adding a comment to my content. This was early. Yesterday we went an hour and a half on my live, and we didn't see the spammer for the first time in a long time. Thank you, Spambot, for highlighting my show, even though you're trying to get people to go to steamboo.com to get free viewers. I mean, I'm sorry, I haven't even heard of your website. At least I've heard of Twitch, man. I know what Twitch is. I know there's lots of streamers on there and lots of people watching the streams there, so why would I leave? My tea, my cold tea, it really didn't help my throat at all. So yeah, you gotta set yourself up. You either do one social at a time, or you do as many as you possibly can, and you try to do at least 3 posts on each one. And if you do have some money and the ability to find a program like Restream.io that's going to help you generate this content, I would go for it. If you're using YouTube like that, and you're a designer, you're an artist making TeePublic designs for t-shirts, then the next one I would do is Pinterest. Because Pinterest is all about photos of design. Think like home and country, home design type magazine type stuff, right? And that is that beautiful thing, the beautiful organization, the beautiful colors, the beautiful artwork, right? That's where you fit in. Pinterest is another search engine. So if you have all your new designs on your TeePublic website, you have the picture of the design. Well, not even the design. Who cares about the design almost? The only problem with Pinterest is that you shouldn't create more than 3 posts to one physical web link, one URL. So if you have a TeePublic store with 100 designs, you have 100 designs times how many products they have on TeePublic. So you have one design, you have a t-shirt, you have a baseball cap, you have a coffee mug, you have a sticker, you have a magnet, you have a cloth bag, you have the gym shorts, you have the hoodie, you have the fanny pack bag. There was something new that came out too. But you have at least 10 separate website links. It's still just one design. It's the one design you created, but now you can create 10 website links. 10 of them, at least. So what do? When you're the store owner, you can right click on the image, like the t-shirt that's there with your design on it that they pre-make for you. You open it in a different window and you save that image, and you just use that image to link back to the t-shirt. And then you do that with the coffee cup and you link back to the coffee cup. Then you do that with the magnet and you link back to the magnet. And these are all Pinterest pins, and you're just generating massive amounts of links on Pinterest. Now, Pinterest does have a service that you can use to set these up. I think it's called Tailwind. I tried to use it, but my topic didn't go so well on Pinterest. Anyway, if you're doing something that's artsy and visual, Pinterest is definitely a place to be. And then I think the third one I would go to is Instagram. Now, the problem with Instagram is that I can't post to it with my Restream. It's saying Instagram is coming soon for lives. For the posting, for when I post, because I would probably just do that, because their live process is really hard. And every time you go live, you got to get a code, and then you put it into your Restream streaming program, and you got to do that every time. Whereas all these other services, I just log into my studio for the show, and I connect. And it connects to all 5 of my social media. So but when you're thinking about t-shirt designs or artwork or designs, you do the same thing. You go to each one of these products on your TeePublic store, and you do the same thing you did with Pinterest, except you're just using the images. You're not linking to the individual product. In your bio on Instagram, you just link to your TeePublic store, just directly to your store. And you just image of your artwork, image on your artwork on a coffee mug, image of your artwork on a t-shirt, image of your artwork on a magnet, and right? So you build those 10, 11, 12 images, and it's just got your artwork on different products. It's wicked cool. And those are just your Instagram posts, right? So people are going to see all these different posts. So, yeah. And you're making the same link on we already talked about it. The same link on your YouTube channel, right? As a community post. Anyway, that's the setup. So you got 2 ways to try to market your business online. Whatever your business is, just get creative and find out where your people are. Or like scatterbomb marketing, try to hit as many social medias as you can with as much content as you can. Use something to make it easier. So, I'm yawning. So this is the 333 challenge. How to drive free traffic to your business, right? Free 99. That's what you want. You want that free traffic. And with social media, most social medias are free to use. Now, I have had to pay for my program that helps me do this, and I have had to pay for the blue check mark on Twitter X to allow me to go live on Twitter. So there is some cost to some of this, but for the most part, you can choose some social medias that are free or use the free version of it. If you want to use Twitter X and you are selling your t-shirt designs, you're doing the same thing you're doing on Pinterest or Instagram. Well, not even Instagram. You're doing the same thing you're doing on Pinterest. You're posting your image of your art on the t-shirt, on the mug, or whatever, on the different products, and you're linking to the product directly, and you're putting that link in your tweet. So, yeah, okay. 333 challenge. I'm sorry, this is terrible. So we've gone over this before, and last time I looked at this, I did some updates and some changes. So here's the steps to the 333 challenge as I've dubbed it and created it. I'm posting to social media 3 times per day for 30 days for 3 months. Okay, that's pretty basic. Concentrate on video content when possible, because a lot of these, something like TikTok, right? It's short videos we're watching, and you can get a lot of views on YouTube with your shorts. And a lot of these platforms, people use their phone, so the vertical video is better for the system, right? So, but video, because people watch video, and a lot of these social medias, they're kind of trying to really push the video because they want to beat TikTok, they want to beat YouTube, right? So do videos wherever you can. So Do a live stream at least weekly. Use this for short video content creation. Use streaming software like Restream.io to speed up the process. So, I'm going above and beyond this. I had decided when I first decided that I should go live at least weekly, and that felt like a lot. I was really nervous about going live, and I decided, I just pulled the trigger and said, I'm just going to go live every weekday. And that helps me generate content. So I'm going live 5 times a week, as much as possible. There's days when I've got appointments or I'm helping another client or something like that, so I might not go live. And I try to list those days as much as possible on my website, my podcast site, indicating what days the show is canceled for that day. Number 4, choose the social media website with the best chance of having your target market. I'm an HR consultant doing B2B, so I have chosen LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter X, Twitch, and YouTube for live streams, and LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X, and TikTok for shorts. Is that still correct? Right? I think that's correct. So I talked about this earlier, and I mentioned, so you kind of choose where you think your clients are going to be, and that's the concentrate on one, build that up, start making some money, and then move over to another one, and you kind of do it in a process, building up. But you can do it all at once, right? And it's just a matter of having the right tools on hand. That's why I'm like Restream.io or any sort of other streaming service really helps me go live and generate the content. So if I wasn't using Restream.io, it would be a lot more work, because I'd have to record my video, and then I would have to use the apps on my phone and go to each app and post that video. And that's time consuming. I really could do short lives, or when the thing I'm doing now is I'm still trying to create long form videos, and I'm just slower doing this because it's extra work after I go live for an hour or two and do the process of uploading, choosing my shorts and uploading them and stuff like that. I'm exhausted and I don't want to deal with the long form content. But if you were only going live once a week, then you would be trying to create a good long form content like weekly or twice a week or something like that. You'd try to do something like that. But what you can do, once you create a long form piece of content, you can upload it to Restream, and it will pick out your viral clips for you so that you can generate the clips. So you've uploaded this video on YouTube now, and that's a separate process. And then you use Restream to create the viral clips for you, the vertical clips. And then you use Restream to also send that out to all your social medias. So now you've got a piece of content that's directing everybody to your long form video. So it's kind of neat, very helpful. Number 5, after 3 months, I may stay with these platforms or change to other depending on my results. So if I'm going hard for 3 months on TikTok and there's nothing, there's crickets, I might choose not to stay with it anymore. Now, I started this the last week of August. So technically I had September, October, and we're halfway through November. So officially that's 3 months. But in those first 3 months, it's taken me some time to, like I say, upgrade the Restream and all that stuff. So I'm considering November is my first real month of doing this correctly. So I'm going to go for another 3 months for sure. So it'll be November, December, and January. And my birthday's in February. So maybe my birthday I end it or something. But that way I give it a good college try. I give it at least 3 months of doing what I'm doing right now that I've perfected the system I got going. So I'm giving 3 months on that before I'm really going to make some judgment calls on what I'm doing and how to make changes, right? So, but you got to give it a real chance. If you're not seeing anything after 3 months, I think you need to shake it up and you need to do some other stuff or whatever, right? Definitely not give up, but doing major tweaks, right? If you continue doing this for 6 months to a year and there's nothing, basically crickets, or all you got was a little blip and you kind of stayed at a position, and you've tweaked every 3 months or so, you like tweak something, you do something different. So you've tweaked it, 4 times, 3 times, or whatever, and you're still not getting it. I think that's an indication at that point that you're never going to get it. Never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it. Wow, wow, wow. So, you want to give it a real chance. There is always a chance that you're going to go viral on day 1. It's not 0%, but it might not be over 1%, right? Like there's a very small chance on day 1 you could go viral. And we see this happening with some channels and social medias because the people behind those channels have done so much research and they're basically experts in this field. They already know what works. So you can't really take their advice or try to replicate what they're doing because they've already spent their time learning. You need to spend your time learning. And it's a long process, man. It's hard. And we need to just follow through. I hate using the word consistency. Maybe a different word might be you have the courage to follow through or whatever, right? Like it's a long process, and anyone that can do it, they certainly deserve getting rich or at least making a living, right? Number 6, I call this a bonus. Take the 365 random content posting challenge. Post 1 random video content every day for 365 days. This may allow you to reach a broader audience. Google Trends for viral ideas, right? Go to Google Trends and see what's trending right now and just make a quick video about it and talk about it. Make sure you research the topic so you understand what's really going on so you don't make a fool of yourself. But being able to make this random video, it could be just a short that you post to everywhere or whatever, right? That's why I do Fridays that are fun and games day. And I basically talk about anything and everything, and I try to keep it as random as possible. So I am getting random content out there. Now, there's kind of 2 rules of thought here too. One is you need to stay in your lane, perfect your niche, get it as narrow as possible so that you are creating content that's viable, important, relevant to your thing, your business, your sales, whatever you're marketing, right? You be as specific as possible. And that's what a lot of gurus are telling you. Create content that is just in your silo, in your niche, and be as specific as possible. And they're like, you're not just in the artwork niche, you are in the watercolor artwork niche, and you're not even in that niche, you're in the t-shirts with watercolor artwork on them niche, right? Like you narrow it down as much as possible. And their advice is, once you have success there, then you kind of expand out. Now you're also in the coffee mug watercolor artwork niche, right? Like, and you expand out. And a lot of blogging advice is like that: be as specific as possible, and then start creating blogs that are related to your main topic. But the other rule of thought, is that what it's called? The other way of thinking about this is, again, this is what Gary Vaynerchuk is also doing. He talks about anything and everything, right? And that is because he knows that someone who's interested in collectibles may also be interested in his services as a marketing agency, right? So if I talk about Dungeons and Dragons on Fridays, because that's my fun and games day, so I talk about Dungeons and Dragons, I talk about being a dungeon master, I talk about building characters, I talk about building adventures for your players, right? I'll talk about all that stuff. And that may attract some people. And they're like, oh yeah, this guy's pretty cool about this topic on creating a dungeon, right? And they're gonna follow me, and they're gonna see, oh, he's got a bunch of content on HR and resume building and stuff like that, right? So they're gonna say, oh, well, I run a small business, so maybe I'll call this guy up for HR advice, or I'll buy his $7 ebook because I connect with him, because we both like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to buy his ebook. So there's always this chance of you reaching out of your niche. And that's what the bonus random one is. Post something random. Hope you connect with somebody who maybe doesn't need your HR services right now, but in the future they'll say, oh, that Dungeons and Dragons guy, yeah, I'm going to get him in to fix my HR issues, right? Like, there's always a chance that you're going to grab somebody that's not in your market or not currently looking for your services, but may want your product or services down the road. So that's the random part of this, because you never know. If you're doing random posting and one of them go viral, okay, it's not in your niche, it's not your main topic. But if you have a viral video that goes out to 1 million people, and 1% of those people click on your link, the conversion rate's going to be lower. But what's 1% of 1 million? Oh my god, I can't math right now. Times 0.01. That's 10,000 people clicking on your link. If you have some random video that goes viral and it's got nothing to do with your business, and only 1% of them click on your link or your bio or something like that, that's 10,000 people that have gone to your website or gone to your product or gone to your affiliate link gone to your TeePublic store. That's 10,000 new clicks. They are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not organic. They're not, I've lost the word, curated. Like they're not targeted, right? That's it. They're not your target market, but there's 10,000 new people looking at your link from this off chance random video that you got. Now, okay, 1% of people look at your link. How many of them people are gonna actually purchase? If we say your conversion rate is terrible, right? So you have 1 million people, 1% of them look at your link, that's 10,000 people, and now your conversion rate is something stupid like 0.5. 0.5% of those 10,000 people purchase your product or service, right? So we got 10,000 times 0.005. So that's 0.5%. That is 50 sales. 50 people bought your t-shirt, 50 people bought your service, 50 people bought your ebook. I mean, if we're thinking my ebook at $7, 50 times $7. I just made $350. Now, when someone buys my ebook, my $7 ebook, at the end of the ebook, they get offered to purchase my $47 ebook from there. There's nothing else. It's just like, if you need more HR advice, you need more advanced HR tactics, get it for $47 over here, right? So now we're talking about your funnel and how you turn a low ticket item purchaser into a high ticket item purchaser. So $350 selling my ebook. I mean, that's $350 this week I didn't make. I mean, $350 off of one post that goes viral to 1 million plus is a lot of money to a lot of people. $350. I mean, I would be so grateful with that. Like that's a bill payment on our house, right? That's possibly 2 bill payments. That's a credit card payment. That's me buying fuel for the next 2 months for our vehicle, right? Like $350. That's not chump change. That is real money that a lot of people could really use, right? So, what was it? 350 divided by $7. So that was 50 people. Okay. So 50 people purchased my $7 ebook. And what's the percentage of these people? They're probably a small business owner. They probably are interested in more HR support. So what percentage will upgrade from the $7 ebook to the $47 ebook? Maybe 50%. Okay. So we divide this by 2. Divide by 2. So that's 25 people who have purchased my $47 ebook. So 25 times $47. 25 times $47 is $1,175. So plus the $350 already made. So off that one viral video, 1% clicked link, 0.5% purchase, and 50% of that 1.5, so 25 people purchase my more expensive ebook. In that process, in that short 2-piece funnel, 2 PDFs that I'm selling, that's $1,525 from one viral video, right? So, and that's just the 2 first steps of my funnel. What's the third step in my funnel? The third step is purchase actual HR support. And we could probably say maybe another 50% or even 25%. So we were at 25 people. 10,000 people clicked the link. 1% purchased the $7 ebook. And no, 1% people click my link. 0.5% of those people bought my $7 ebook, and 50% of those people, the 25, purchased my large ebook. So I'm at 25 people who have made it through 2 steps of my funnel. Well, technically 3 steps. They saw my video, they saw my first sales page, and then they saw my second sales page. So it's kind of 3, but on the back end it's 2. So I got 25 people who are reading my $47 ebook and are considering purchasing more HR advice from me, the continuing monthly service or whatever, right? And this is my big ticket item, right? This is thousands of dollars. I don't even remember what my stuff is. I gotta go have a look. So we're talking 25 people have purchased my $7 ebook, and they purchased a $47 ebook, right? So now we got to figure out what's the percentage of people that will purchase my HR support sessions. These are kind of like coaching sessions. So I'm talking 101 with a small business owner. And my coaching sessions for HR are, you can do one time, you can do 6 weeks, or you can do 12 weeks, right? And we got to figure out what the percentage is. You know, what are these people gonna purchase? Let's say 50% of these 25 people who purchased the $47 ebook decide to buy my one-time consulting services or any of my consulting services, right? So there's deep calculations, but we'll make it simple. Let's say they buy just a one-time consulting session, which is $800 for my time. 6-week consulting sessions. I meet with you weekly. That's $4,200 plus GST. And if you take the 12-week consulting sessions, I meet with you weekly for 12 weeks to turn your business around and to give you all that HR advice on creating policies, hiring new staff members, creating employment contracts, like just everything, disciplinary processes, helping you create a pay grid, like all that stuff. We get 12 weeks to work together. That's $7,200. And that's an average of like a 2-hour meeting with me every week. And we work through all these things that you need done. So, but let's just say 50% of the people that purchase my $47 ebook, which is over 30 pages of content, which I've created. So it's a very, very big ebook. So 50% of those people say, I need more for my small business, because a lot of times people are just, every business is different, every situation is different. So the more generic stuff I advise in the ebooks may not be exactly what you need. So they move on to the bigger service. So 50% of 25, right? Divided by 2. So let's say 12. 12 of the 25 purchase my consulting services. So 12 times 800 for a one-time meeting. That is $9,600 plus the $1,500. I think there was some change in there. Plus the $1,500 from the $7 ebook and the $47 ebook. One unrelated random post that goes viral could generate me $11,100. Crazy. $11,000 from one viral post that had nothing to do with my product or services, right? So there's always a chance that random viral video could generate you money. Now, the conversion rate is not going to be anywhere as good as if someone saw some HR content and they went and purchased my $7 ebook, right? The conversion rate is not going to be the same, anywhere near the same. The conversion rate for someone who saw my HR stuff to purchase my $7 ebook, to purchase my $47 ebook, to purchase an $800 session with me is higher for someone who is actively looking for my content. It's always going to be higher. It's going to be a greater chance at all the levels because they're looking for my content. The viral content side of things, the small possibility you might have a viral video, is a numbers game. It is truly a numbers game. The conversion rate is going to be terribly small, but because there's 1 million, 5 million, 10 million people seeing your stupid viral video that has nothing with your business, there's still a conversion rate attached to that because people are going to see who you are, what you do, right? So it's purely a numbers game. You could make some good money from it, but the conversion rates are going to be lower. But hell, man, if I can make $11,000 from one video going viral on the interwebs, I mean, that's amazing for a small business like me. And if you're an artist and your viral video goes bonkers, 10 million views, all those people, that small conversion rate is going to your TeePublic store. And they can get their product. And each product there, you only make about $2, right? The conversion rate on a digital product like an ebook, not the conversion rate, the revenue is higher. So they go to your TeePublic store, they buy $16 t-shirt, $20 t-shirt, you make $2, right? It's not that great. So it's really a numbers game situation. So if you can get a viral post out there every now and again and give you a few, I mean, we had 50 people purchase my ebook. From 1 million to 10,000 people looking at my ebook to only 50 of them purchasing it, right? So if we use the same numbers and you're an artist and you're sending everybody to your TeePublic website, that is, right, 50 sales, 50 times $2 profit on each t-shirt. You made $100, right? Just off that one. But they could start following your content. They could purchase something else from your store, some of your other artwork. So really the possibility is they might purchase 2 or 3 items. I don't know what the average item purchase number is on TeePublic, but it's still a numbers game. I mean, if you have someone who follows your artwork and they love a piece of your artwork and they want it on a t-shirt, that's going to be a higher conversion rate than that viral clip, but it still ends up being a numbers game, right? The numbers game, even with low conversions, is really great. And you just, when you start this, you got to make sure your back end's all set up. Where do you want to drive your traffic to? Try to keep it as simple as possible. When I'm here in the live podcast, I have my Linktree links that has all my stuff. And that's more convenient for me in this podcast. But if you see any of my content on YouTube, it goes directly to my $7 ebook. Everything is linked to my $7 ebook. And I try to just drive traffic to that $7 ebook. On my other socials, I will either use the Linktree or send them to my website or something like that, right? I'm still trying to drive the traffic or drive them to my YouTube channel. So it's like my Linktree and my YouTube channel or whatever, right? Like I'm trying to drive traffic to eventually my $7 ebook, because I want to sell the $7 ebook, because that gets people into my funnel. That starts making me money, right? So that's the way I'm set up. If you're that artist, got your TeePublic set up, your TeePublic store, or any other online store like that, print on demand it's called, you could go with something else. I like TeePublic because they made it really easy for me, and it's just super easy, right? So I like, all I'm doing is creating the design, and then I'm uploading it, and I'm making just a little tweaks on the size and the location on the product, and that's it. 5 minutes or less for me to post a new piece of artwork, new design, whatever I'm selling. So if you're that artist, you want to drive traffic to your TeePublic store, obviously. But I would say that original piece of artwork you have, you should be selling that original also. And I wouldn't be shy. I would be $2,000 to $4,000 for your original piece of artwork if you're a painter or something like that, right? The original. If you're a digital artist, this might be a different ball game, and you just always just keep all the designs on TeePublic. But you could come up with a separate option, maybe a different print-on-demand service where they print posters and artwork and things like that. You might go with a different one just to do the large format artwork that really looks more like a piece of art. Maybe you want to commission a printer to commission that digital art, right? You get the printer to do 500 copies that are super high quality, and you number them, right? 1 to 500. And you only have 500 to sell, but you're selling this large piece of artwork for, I don't know, $100, $500 or something like that, right? I mean, if you can create an actual piece of artwork and sell the original, whether it's watercolor, oil paints, whatever painting there is, hand drawn. If it's large enough, I would try to make your artwork as fairly big size. Then I would sell that original for multiple thousands of dollars, anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. So you have two links that you're advertising. So if you have a link tree like me, you would put down, go to my TeePublic store and purchase all my designs, find my designs there, and they can get it on t-shirts and things like that. But then you could have another service, or even just a PayPal link saying, buy this piece of artwork, $2,000, and you might have multiple of those on there, and you sell this piece of artwork to people. Charge them shipping too, man. Don't forget that. So there's options. You gotta be creative, right? Let's talk about reasoning here. It's no longer about gaining followers. It's about content reach. The algorithms are changing from follower content to relevant content. We now see content relevant to us, not content that the people we follow post. You don't see your friends' content as much because you've trained the algorithm that you like other things. If you only have a limited time, post more content. Keep it simple, right? I can see this when I post to my my LinkedIn. I have over 12,000 connections on LinkedIn. So if followers or connections were important, every time I post something, around 12,000 people should see every one of my posts, but they don't. My posts on LinkedIn get anywhere from 50 to about 200 impressions on average. I mean, 12,000 connections and only 50 people saw my post. So you can see that has nothing to do with your followers. It has nothing to do with connections. So I find it archaic that getting monetized on YouTube is based on your number of followers, partly on your number of followers, because follower count is becoming less and less relevant. A lot of times, like in the early 2000s, 2010s, everybody was like, let's get followers, let's get to 10 million followers, and then we'll make all this money, right? Wow. Now it's about your piece of content getting 10 million views, right? Or 10,000 views or whatever, right? It's not about you getting followers, because your followers don't always see your content, because they might follow you, but they don't like your content, man. I follow people on social media and I barely ever see their content, because social medias know I like watching those cop videos where they're trying to arrest someone and the person is like exerting their rights. I like to watch the cartoon videos, the little ducks, the little penguins, Choco and Pancake. I love watching those little videos. And there's the cartoons that make me cry all the time. There's Judy with her restaurant where she makes the pancakes, and all her content is all about screaming at you to go buy her pancakes at her restaurant. Like, she's made some amazing, beautiful, viral videos, and she does it consistently, right? So all the luck to her. right? I like watching that stuff. I don't like to watch your video about your personal struggles with mental health. It's boring to me. It's not something I'm interested in. And good on you. This is something that you are posting about, but it may not have that virality that you're looking for. If you're posting about your mental health situation, you might not be looking to go viral. You might be just using it as an outlet to help you, right? So obviously in that case, you probably won't go viral. But if you were actually trying to make money off posting your mental health struggles, I mean, I think you would have to tweak it a little bit. Maybe talk more about your journey and the things you do and your advice for other people, and then maybe create that $7 ebook that's like 20 tips for people struggling with mental health from my point of view, right? So it's all the things that you've learned about yourself and how you're dealing with these issues put into that ebook. So now you've got something to advertise, and you become more of a teacher as opposed to just someone posting about their condition. That's if you wanted to change that up. If not, don't worry about it, man. If you're posting on social media just as an outlet and there's no real ambition to monetize the beauty you're creating for the rest of us, that's fine too. That's fine, right? But it's all about the content. Set up some goals. These are my goals. Primary goal: get HR monthly contracts or one-time projects. So this is the third level of my funnel. $7 ebook, $47 ebook, $800 plus monthly payments, right? So I got to kind of change the wording of that a little bit, but I'm looking for the bigger contracts and the bigger coaching stuff, right? Secondary goal: book Kairos blanket exercises. That's my KBEs or Indigenous Relations workshops. So I think this might be flipping. I think I might be becoming more of a facilitator than an HR consultant. I think this might be flipping in my career and my business right now. So that's different. Tertiary goal: sell my cheap ebooks or Fiverr gigs. So I do have some Fiverr gigs where I help people with resumes, things like that. So that's my tertiary goal. But maybe I need to flip this around. Maybe my primary goal is to sell my cheap ebooks. That should probably be where it is. And I should set up 2 cheap ebooks, one for HR and one for Indigenous Relations. I do have an Indigenous Relations ebook set up. I've created it. So maybe I can just rejig it for this simple little product. And from that, anyone who wants Indigenous Relations advice for cheap, then in there it would say, hey, book your Kairos blanket exercise or some Indigenous Relations workshop or something, whatever I'm putting in there. I think that should be my primary goal, is sell those little ebooks, because nothing else matters if people aren't getting into my funnel, right? So if I kind of had 2 funnel openings, one's HR, one's Indigenous Relations, and then they get into my system further down, because People will consume all your content for free. That's great. Maybe they're learning something. Maybe they're doing some real great stuff, good stuff with their business, with whatever they're doing, whatever they're learning from you. That's fine. We want that. We want people checking out our content because that tells the algorithms that the content is useful. So absolutely, we want people consuming the content for free and not paying us any money. We absolutely want that. We always got to make sure that we have some calls to action to get people over to our links to purchase the $7 ebook or whatnot, right? And what was I saying? Some goals, right? We're talking about goals. So my secondary goal should be selling the higher ticket items and, trying to make that stuff viable. So I might not have 3 goals anymore. I might only have 2 goals. Sell my $7 ebooks and get people to upgrade to my higher ticket items. So I think that's, probably got to tweak. Anytime I go through this, I learn something about myself and my business. The Grey's Anatomy. Watch one, do one, teach one when they're doing surgeries, right? So that they can get good at it. It's the same thing. I am learning as I go. And as I do more of this marketing, I realize that my initial marketing plan, this 333 challenge, needs updates, right? This is version 1.2. And I don't need to mention this. Creation tips, right? I've updated it a couple times, right? And now I'm about to update it a third time. So, content creation tips. So, learn AI. Whatever you're marketing, whatever you're doing, find an AI tool that can help you out. I've programmed ChatGPT or another AI to be an expert in your business or industry. So my version of ChatGPT, I've put in my ebooks, I've put in, my resume and all the information about me. My ChatGPT knows what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish. And I ask it questions. Just last night I asked, what are the top 5 human resources topics that might go viral, right? And it said, well, virality is subjective, but based on your skills, because it knows me, based on your skills in these areas, I would say do something like this, and this, right? So it was pretty cool. It helps you get that process going. It's like having a coworker in the office that you can always brainstorm with. That's great. Basic AI usage. Right? Get it to research your industry so it knows everything about. Tell it, I'm in the HR industry. Do a research about the top HR issues or whatever, right? It learns your industry. Drag and drop word drops onto the chat to share sales information or anything else you've created, right? Like I said, I've got my ebooks. It knows my ebooks. I could put in, hey, can you write up a quick ad so I can sell my ebook using ad sales on Meta or something like that. And it would come up with some ad copy and a suggested image for the ad, right? So it's helpful. Now, when it comes to ads, don't start with ads. You need to start creating the content. And once you see content that is popping off, going viral, that is what you use. That creative, that information, that's what you use. God, my hair is terrible. That's what you use to create your ad, because you already know people like it. People respond to it, right? So Don't start off with ads. Wait till you know which content is relevant and will get you more conversions, because it's entertaining, it's informational, it's exactly what the people that you're trying to attract want. So don't start with, I'm not saying don't use paid ads. I'm saying do the free research first, because when you start working with ads, you're like, let's use multiple versions of this ad, but it'll have the same written content, but it'll have a different picture on each one, and you got to find out which ones works better. If you have unproven images and unproven ad content, you're starting from less than zero, man, because you have no idea what's going to work. So you end up going through this long what's better process, and you're spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars and not making any money, man, right? So find out, learn what really hits first and turn that into an ad. And I mean, yes, something that goes viral, maybe not the random stuff. Sorry, yawn. But certainly the stuff that you've created for your niche, for your industry, that stuff that pops off, that's what you want to put money into, right? Number 5, ask it to ask you questions about your business and industry if it may need to better understand your goals. So it's like, hey, ChatGPT, this is all my information about me. Please ask me more questions that you think you need more info about, right? And it'll ask you some questions. It'll ask you like 5 to 10 questions, and you answer those questions, and it learns and it knows who you are and your business. So it's really cool. Number 6, after it is trained, you can ask it to generate posts and articles and recommend images to accompany them. So you have a piece of content that goes viral. You put that into ChatGPT and say, look, ChatGPT, I have this piece of content that got 1 million views. I want to generate more content that's very similar to this so I can create an ad. Please recommend some stuff, images, or related posts, right? You can have ChatGPT or Canva AI to generate these images for you. So I use Canva, and it'll generate images for me, and so that's how I create my designs that I put on my TeePublic store. I'll have Canva like generate an image, so I know it's an original image for me, and then I'll put like words on it. So I had it generate the spaceman in a spacesuit floating in space, right? And I took out the background on that, so I just have the spaceman, and then I put the words in beside the spaceman. Of course, the words are, in space, HR can't hear you scream. So I created my t-shirt, and I own that one. I purchased it for myself. I'll wear it sometime on the show. But it was easy. You do have a little bit of learning to do, but it was easier. And my designs have gotten better as I got better with the programs and better understanding of what type of designs people would want on their t-shirt and stuff like that, right? So it's actually fun. It's a creative outlet for me. But you want to use the AI as much as possible. AI is your friend, man. So I'm going to be doing some updates on this, I believe. Maybe version 1.3. A couple places I have to update. So that's great. That's okay. No more questions. Nobody asked any questions. That's all right. I had some interesting stuff to talk about. I'm going to unshare this. Stop sharing screen. There I am. Full view. QR code. What am I? I think there was something I wanted to share. Oh yeah, I talk so much about TeePublic. Go check out my TeePublic store. There's my angry HR manager image. That's one of my original images I created. This grumpy old man. There's also a grumpy woman, but she looks kind of demonic because her eyes are just white. Anyway, it's freaky. I should change them to red or something. That might be cool. So go there to my TeePublic store. Check out my designs. They're not that great, or they're really great. Here's the one I always talk about in space. HR can't hear you scream. You can get, that's the exact t-shirt I have. It's awesome. It looks amazing. I was worried that my artwork wouldn't look good printed, but it looks good on the t-shirt. Looks good. Right. T-shirts, hats, coffee mugs, fanny packs, gym shorts, whatever you want that design on, you can get it through there. So if you are interested in the $7 ebook, Stop Staff Drama Fast, how to stop staff drama in 5 days. So this is basic tips on how to do that as a small business owner or a manager, right? Go there, buy that $7 ebook, and that'll help you with that stuff. It's a good starting point. It's very cheap, price of a fancy cup of coffee, right? So I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna turn that off. And tomorrow is Thursday, Career Club. We're gonna talk about resumes, cover letters, job hunts. We're gonna try to help the other side. As an HR consultant, I do see the resumes that come in that people give me, and maybe I'll talk about how I updated my resume. I'm pretty sure, I think I talked about it last week, so maybe I don't need to talk about it. But we'll, if you want to talk about your job hunt, show up tomorrow, and we'll talk more about that. Anyway, I'm going to end this